Hi there, it's Callum here from Regeneration Station Hobby Shop. Now, I've got my tripod set up so that I can have a little wee chat with you today about a couple of things. First things first, this Easter weekend, Friday and Saturday, we are open at our normal hours. We will not be closing because it's Easter. We are just open here, ready to serve. Now, speaking of the Easter holidays, I know what you're thinking. Uh-oh. Yes, we can go travelling somewhere and go and do some stuff if it's nice weather, but if it's raining, I've got hee-haw to do with the bairns. Oh no, what am I going to do? Well, don't worry, I've got you. So, I'm going to show you a couple of wee things here that we've got in store that you can do. So, the first thing that we have is the Warhammer Age of Sigmar introductory set. Now, this is a fantastic wee box, a great way to spend an afternoon or two. Very creative little hobby to start up with the young'uns, or just by yourself if you fancy it. So what this box has, it's got a game mat, you can see all the stuff down there, a game mat, selection of dice, little wee measuring sticks and such. It's also got some models, paints, brushes, things like that. So you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Stormcast Eternals, these big golden fellas here, and you've got, I believe, 10? An amount of Skaven, the little wee stinky rat men that you can see in the window of the shop on one of the display cabinets. It also has all the paints that you would require to get them painted up and tabletop ready. Tabletop ready just means that you would get away with playing them in game without them just being little wee bits of grey plastic. You've got a paintbrush there as well to get them all painted up nice and proper, and I believe it comes with a rulebook as well. Yes, a little wee 48-page handbook that just sort of takes you through the ins and outs of actually playing the game, painting the models, building the models, everything you would possibly need to know. A smashing little box, and as I say, a great way to spend a creative bit of time on a rainy afternoon in Scotland, or anywhere, really, wherever you are. So, if this isn't your thing, as it is £42.50, if you think it's maybe a bit much for just a little wee thing to do with the bairns for an afternoon, don't you worry, I'm all over it. We've also got these. So, first one I'll go through, we've got the Skaven paint set. What that has is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of aforementioned stinky little rat men, and it also comes with a paintbrush and all the paints you would need to get them tabletop ready. Now, you don't need glue for these models, as they just get snipped out of the little grey plastic frames that they're on. We call them sprues. You just push them out of the sprues and they just push together without the need for glue. And again, it has the instructions for building each of them on the back and a wee list of the paints that are included in the box, and those are £22.50. So you don't get the two sets of dudes, but you do get one of them, and it is good enough to get started and see if the hobby is something that you would be interested in. If you don't fancy painting little stinky rat men, then instead we also have this one, which is the Stormcast Eternal paint set, and that comes with 1, 2, and 3 of the little golden fellas, pictured here, paintbrush, and the paints that would be required to get them tabletop ready. Now, as before, it's also got your instructions on the back, a wee list of the paints, and it shows you a lovely little picture of the starter brush that you will get. Same deal with these, you won't need glue, they just push out and push together. So yes, fantastic way to spend an afternoon. Now, if you think to yourself, that's all very well and good, but the whole sort of swords and shields fantasy, that's not really my thing, and don't worry, we have another option for you. So, we've got this here, a wee box from the Warhammer 40k, so that's more sci-fi fantasy than swords and shields sort of fantasy. And these are the Infernus Marines with paints, some Space Marines. So the Space Marines are like the poster boys of Warhammer 40,000, or 40k, some folks say. That rhymes, nice. We've got the 3 Infernus Marines in this box with all the paints that you would require to get them tabletop ready, a nice wee starter brush, everything like that. And again, similar to before, you don't need the glue to put these together. I mean, you can do, but you don't need them, as they just push together. And you've got the little instructions on the back of the box there. Yeah, and a little wee guide just to go like, this is what it should look like when it's all painted up nice and proper. But again, very, very good one very good way to spend an afternoon, as I say. Now, if you're thinking, well, I would much rather get something that has got the potential to be a bit more educational for them, something similar, something fun, but also offers a little bit of education as well, then don't worry, shut up, I've got something for you as well. Bolt Action starter sets. Now, Bolt Action is similar to Warhammer in that it's a tabletop war game, but it's set in World War II. Now, in this box, you get an absolute heap. you get a game mat. You don't get these two people. You get the game mat, you get 2 armies there, you get a little bit of scenery, terrain, some ruins, and you get a little wee cardboard cutout so you're not having to dive straight into the difficult vehicles side of things with building them. You've got a little wee cardboard cutout of a vehicle there to give you a wee idea of how those work in game. So with that, what is there? There are the 12 German Grenadiers, 12 US Rangers, as I say, the ruined farmhouse terrain piece, double-sided game mat, very nice, and a whole bunch of different dice, a wee punch board, and a dice bag. You also get the rule book for that, 64-page field manual, and the good thing about Bolt Action, at the start of most of their rule books, there is a good bit on World War II history as well. Something that I find very, very cool. So as I say, a little bit more educational, could spark a bit of an interest in history as well as an interest in a nice wee creative hobby. So yeah, this one definitely worth coming down to check out. But that is pretty much all I have to say today. Just a couple of wee options that we have here in shop, things that you can do on rainy days like today. It's Good Friday at the time of filming this, and the weather is rubbish at the moment. It was much nicer this morning, but now it's quite dreich and drab. But yeah, look forward to seeing you down here, whether that's to buy one of the things that we've went through today, or whether that's to indulge in one of the many different card games that we have, or to get some dice for D&D, or dice bags if you've already got a plethora of dice. You can also see behind me, as always, we have the paints, we have the Warhammer, we've got board games there, and then we've got a good few books from the Warhammer Black Library for all the lore. But yeah, thanks very much for listening to me haver on today, and look forward to seeing you down here. Take care of yourself, take it easy.